Fastest 20 Formula Vees for the Formula Vee Championship, and David Coath in red car number 7 on pole position. Frank Haire in number 5 beside him, second fastest in qualifying and on position number 2 on the grid. Paul Fordham is next in car number 12, and beside him Julius Aib in 14. They're ready for a start and they're away in the Formula Vee Championship at Winton Raceway. A very good start from David Coath in 7. Frank Haire in the black car right on the outside of him, going round the outside in the front first corner. Can he get past? It's Frank Haire on the outside, a very bold manoeuvre, and it comes off for Frank Haire. Frank Haire ahead of David Coath as they head along the short Yokohama Straight and towards the Mike Lynn Nissan sweeper for the first time. A very, very bold move as we watch the rest of the field go through, all a clean start. Back to the leaders. What a brave manoeuvre, Tom, to go round the outside of the first corner. Haven't seen that done for a long, long time here at Winton Circuit, but it certainly came off for Frank Haire, and he's in the lead.
Yes, it looks like Fordham, is it, that was running very wide? To car 12, yes it is. Paul Fordham had run wide there. Yes, Frank Haire had the pace. That was the necessary element there, Ian. He had to have the pace to get round the outside, and I think David Coath was taken a little bit by surprise there. But he's not taken by surprise now as he goes down the inside of Frank Haire. A very neat manoeuvre at the end of the straight into the S's, so Coath's got the lead back again. Coath from Haire.
It's unusual for Haire to leave that gap at the end of the main straight, but he did, and David Coath back into the lead in red car number 7, with Frank Haire climbing all over the back of his exhaust pipe. This will be a battle right from start to finish between these two. They've battled it out on many occasions before.
McCombie and Julius Aib are the next two in that we saw in 3rd and 4th there. And these two having a great battle up the front. There's Aib in the red car in 4th, car 14.
Coath gets it a little bit wide as they go in the right-hander and allows Frank Haire to come up beside him once again, but not able to get through. But have a look how close these two Formula V's are as they head around into Castrol Corner and out onto the main Dunlop Straight again. This is where we'll see a passing manoeuvre as Frank Haire comes up in the slipstream of Coath. Coath, does he move across? Does he move across far enough to block the manoeuvre? He doesn't. Frank Haire on the inside as they come down into the braking area, and Haire through into the lead once again from David Coath.
And look, McCombie's caught them up very swiftly in. He came down the straight there in good slipstreaming fashion, and he's got a run through, and he's gone through behind Frank Haire and it's taken over 2nd place. So David Coath finds himself shuffled back to 3rd. In the space of a very short distance.
McCombie from the 3rd row of the grid up into 2nd place already, with Frank Haire in the lead, just marginally, and McCombie now throwing out a challenge as they head up towards Penrite Corner. It's Haire, McCombie and Coath, 1, 2, 3, absolutely nose to tail. Haire getting it a little bit sideways as they came round that right-hander. Sweeping left-hander and up to Castrol Corner once again they go. It's Frank Haire, that's McCombie, and that's David Coath. 1, 2, 3, on to the main Dunlop Straight once again. Not quite close enough this time for slipstreaming and a possible passing manoeuvre as 86, Max Bonney, has a big spin. It's car 5, our race leader, only 1 car length back, Greg McCombie. And there's David Coath in the red car as they cross the start-finish line once again. Half a car length in between the 3 of these cars as they get through the right-hander, then another sweeping right-hander. No passing manoeuvres on this part of the track.
Coath right on the outside of that corner, then Ian loses a bit of ground. It only takes half a blink in Formula Vee to lose some ground, and you can see how much Coath has lost there by running wide. He dropped 3 or 4 car lengths, so he's going to work very hard to get that back now. Coming at the top part of the circuit now through Autosport Corner, Castrol. Still Haire from McCombie.
McCombie setting himself up a little bit better for the run down the main straight this time. Probably about half a car length in it, but Haire has the pace to pull away.
Yeah, close enough. You've got to be right in the slipstream.
As you come onto the main straight.
As you come onto the main straight, it's the car in front is making the hole in the air, leaves the car behind a little protected, You find that you can lift off the accelerator slightly and still maintain your same position because you haven't got as much air to break through with the car. And then by just drawing back to the maximum part of that gap that you're establishing in the air, the front car's establishing in the air, you can just push your foot down back on the accelerator, pull out, and you've got almost like a slingshot effect there, and that's the principle behind slipstream.
As we saw David Coath go wide once again and lose a little bit more ground from our two leaders, the black car of Frank Haire and Greg McCombie in car number 8, the yellow car. Again heading up from the left-hander towards Castrol. Castrol's where it all starts, the right-hander, reasonably tight right-hander before they come onto the main straight.
Yes, it's almost a full 180-degree turn. The cars are approaching virtually in the opposite direction that they go down the main straight, having exited Castrol Corner. And we can see David Coath is having to really drive very hard to stay on the tail of these two in. And he's finding himself slipping off their tail quite a bit. He's 4 or 5 car lengths behind now and really having to drive very hard to stay there.
McCombie, whilst he's able to sit on the tail of Frank Haire, that 1.5 car length margin, is not able to make any impression, particularly down the straighter sections of the track. He's got to get a lot closer up in this tight top end of the circuit if he's wanting to try a slipstreaming manoeuvre and look for the lead. He may of course be leaving it before the last lap, because if he is able to get into the lead now, it wouldn't be all that difficult for Frank Haire to take it back from him. So with 5 completed, 5.5 completed, 2.5 to go, McCombie may just be sitting back and waiting.
It's a 10-lapper, Ian, so they've got virtually halfway. There's some discrepancy I see in the program.
Just differing information we've been getting through, but the lap chart does tell us 10 laps. As our 3 race leaders cross the start-finish line again, and McCombie's having a go on the outside. This is where Frank Haire was successful in the opening lap, but McCombie's not successful this time round. Didn't have the pace, but niggling away the whole time now. A lot closer on this lap, as is David Coath in 3rd place, a lot closer.
There we can get a shot of the group behind that's having a great battle too, and that's Julius Aib in 14, and car 2 is Don Grevenson, and he's really pressing to get past Aib there, and the 3rd car that's tacked on behind is indeed 64 Paul Tucker.
Tucker showed well in yesterday's preliminary race, starting from midfield, going up into 5th or 6th. This time round he's sitting 6th behind Don Grevenson in car number 2.
Certainly having as good a battle there as indeed the battle for the lead that we've gone back to now. And here's our leader, Frank Haire. Seems to have held on to the advantage, has McCombie's measure at the moment, but McCombie seems to come and go. He had a go last time in the same position, but finds himself dropping back in other parts of the circuit here. It's a bit of a quandary there.
David Coath was having a look for 2nd place on the previous lap. But still, 1, 2, 3 it remains. Coath, McCombie, sorry, Haire, McCombie and Coath. And that's the battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. 5th is our leader. Still with McCombie in the yellow car number 8. Hounding him but not able to get past. Frank Haire not comfortable in the lead in number 5. David Coath in the red car, just sitting back and waiting for the slightest mistake of our 2 race leaders, and he'd be through, perhaps back into the lead where we saw him briefly earlier in the race. Down the Dunlop main straight once again. Equally distant, probably about 1.5 car lengths in between 1st and 2nd, and 2nd and 3rd.
Yes, Haire not comfortable, you're right, Ian, but I think he'd probably be quite confident that he could stay there, as we see Coath getting out on the outside, having a look, and there's McCombie having another look down the outside. The same thing again in auto action. He seems to like this part of the circuit. He pops out, has a bit of a look around the leader, sees if there's any opportunities there for him, but none presented themselves this time. and so he's right in his slipstream this time as they go around the sweeper. Here's the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th, and Julius Aib still hanging on from car 2, Don Grevenson.
Back to the leaders, and there's Frank Haire in 5, still being hounded by Greg McCombie in 8. David Coath, there he is, right behind them in 3rd place. Onto the main straight they come once again. 8 laps completed, and look at Coath going very wide. He's done that on many occasions, and again loses probably 3 or 4 car lengths just by that small mistake. McCombie coming up under braking, still not close enough to make that passing manoeuvre at the end of the main straight.
Yes, David Coath is really trying very hard to stay on the tail of these two, Ian, and he's being forced into that as McCombie again has a look on the outside, but he's really got no opportunity to get by there. Now he switches back to the inside as
McCombie on the inside. He's
flipped back to the 4th, 5th and 6th places. So here's our leaders once again, and McCombie finds himself again in the wrong spot. He's on the outside of the sweeper.
This is the lap that he's got to do it.
Home.
He's sitting right on the exhaust pipe now, trying the outside as they head up towards Penrite Corner. This is their last lap. If he's going to make his manoeuvre, this is the lap he's got to do it on. As we watch car 5, our race leader Frank Haire coming under extra pressure from Greg McCombie. He comes up beside him once again, not able to get through. Up towards Castrol Corner. This is the last time that they'll be going down the main straight, and almost a touch there. There was a touch, and Frank Haire goes sideways. This allows McCombie to go through, and David Coath goes wide once again. McCombie's taken the lead after that touch. David Coath is in 2nd place, and Frank Haire has been relegated to 3rd. They're at the end of the main straight, with McCombie still in the lead. They've only got to go round the S's, and he'll be greeting the checkered flag. McCombie from Coath, from Haire. And this is the way they'll finish as they cross the line and the checkered flag. Greg McCombie takes the Formula V championship from David Coath, from Frank Haire. Don Grevenson comes across the line in 4th place, and he's just got past Julius Aib on the last lap also. So a lot of position changes with a touch in the last lap of the Formula V championship.
Yes, David McCombie very, very delighted, Greg McCombie rather, very delighted to have won that race. And an excellent race it was too, Ian, but some very strong stuff there in the last. Frank Haire would be a bit disappointed, I think.
Yes, just that little touch of his back wheel. I think McCombie's nose cone might have just touched the rear right-hand wheel of Haire's car and put him out of shape and allowed McCombie to get through, and also Coath. Well, that's it for the Formula V Championship.